Okay. Hey, the electrons are hooking up, so just bear with us for just a moment. And this is Ann C. coming at you live from the Voice of E-commerce. I just want to make sure that we are fully connected up and that I can see myself, voila, on Facebook. And I believe we are, so awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn that down, and so now I get to focus right here. And so I am super excited for you guys. Here we are halfway through the month of June, and our interviewee today is going to share some pretty amazing results for being only halfway through the month. So we've got about one more minute till we officially kick off. This is going to be a really fun, exciting interview for you, especially given the background, which is retail. And it's going to be interesting to hear the backstory here for Martha. So what I'd like you all to do is just go ahead and write in the comments section below. Let me know that you can hear me. And just go ahead, in fact, write in add me so that you can be notified of future broadcasts. So go ahead. All right, we're at 12. Awesome. So again, this is Ann Sieg with the Voice of E-commerce, which is the broadcasting arm of the E-commerce Business School. And our goal is to display to the public that we are real people who have a go-giving community that supports and empowers each other. And I'm thrilled to have you here. So we're going to help take your business to the next level with this edition of the Voice of E-commerce. So I have with me Martha. Help me out with your last name.
Pfitzenmaier.
So awesome.
Perfect.
We're going to have fun here because you are a former brick and mortar business owner.
Correct.
Give us a little bit of background about yourself and what brought you to the E-commerce Business School.
Sure. Well, when I graduated from college, I knew I wanted to work for myself. That was my plan. So I started a clothing business, and we're talking back in the 80s. So it was a retail shop. What we started with, there was no internet. So what we started with was craft shows. So we went to craft shows with applique sweatshirts that we made. And after that went pretty well, but it was traveling all the time. Yeah. So we took to the next step, we started designing clothing. And the clothing we took to wholesale markets, and we sold to retail boutiques and stores throughout the country. We did that for probably a good 15 years. I had 6 ladies that worked for me in the store, and then I had 13 sewers. So we were able to start them in the store, send them out, and these ladies loved it because they could work at home and make some money. So they would come pick it up, sew it, and bring it back. And then we'd have, ample supply to send out to our people that wanted to purchase the items. So that's how it started. And we had more of a working retail store where the back of it was where we made all the things, and then the front of it is where we had a retail store where we could sell out of. And then the traveling with selling it, of course. Yeah. But that's how that started. That was my first business. Then, how life happens. Things happen in your life. And so I had to make a change. And I sold my business, and I got divorced and then remarried. So anyways, my next business was my new husband always wanted to have a bar and grill. So we opened a bar and grill, and that was consumed your life. It just took over everything. Yeah. So we signed a lease for 5 years, and we finished it out and then sold that business. Okay. So then after that, I just kind of played around at the golf course. I was the beverage cart girl, and I ran around the golf course, but it was so much fun. I mean, I loved it, but it was just a little break that I needed from stress. So then last year I was approached to be the manager of a yacht club, and it sounded wonderful. And I thought I could jump in, and all these great ideas I could implement. But it was the absolute worst year of my life. And I knew at that time that I was never going to work for the public again, work in the public sector again. I wanted to find something that I could do from home
Mhm.
And so the good thing about that was the yacht club was open for 7 months, but I had a year contract. So they had to pay me for a year.
Oh,
So 7 months was up in November. So I had 5 months to figure out what I'm going to do
uh-huh.
next, because I knew I was not going to go back there.
Yeah.
And that's when you, Anne, popped up in my Facebook feed.
Hello, world.
Thank goodness.
And so relate that. What happened? You saw the ad. There was a video. Walk
Oh,
us
yeah.
through the story.
Oh, yeah. So I watched it 3 times and procrastinated, of course, as I always do when I see something on the internet. And my dad always told me, whenever you're not sure about something, sleep on it. And the next day, you know, you'll feel either better or worse about it. So you can make a better decision. So I slept on it. And I was thinking, as I was thinking about it all night long, that I did see on the Today Show, I saw a segment of a kid who was actually doing this, and how much money he was making. He was selling school supplies and office supplies, whatever. And he was actually doing this. So I knew it was out there. It was an actual thing.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know, in the morning, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go back on Facebook and I'm going to sign up. So I did sign up, but by me procrastinating, the price went from 30 to 60, but that was my fault. Anyways, so I signed up. And also when I signed up, I bought the previous year's, I think it was September Summit. So I bought the videos for that.
Okay. Yeah. You upgraded to VIP. Yeah.
Right. So not only did I go through all the initial training, I also went through all the videos, which was extremely helpful. So then like I said, I got into all that. I finished all the training and I got myself up, got out and started scanning.
Okay.
And I scanned for probably 2 weeks. And like I see on Facebook all the time, everybody is, I can't find anything. Everything's restricted. You know, what am I going to do? I had the same experience. And I came home and I sat down with my husband. I said, look, you know, I've been doing it for 2 weeks and I can't find anything. I honestly don't think it's going to work. And he looked me straight in the eye and said, Martha, you are not a quitter. He goes, you've only been doing it a little while here. He goes, give it a chance, get into it, try and figure it out. So that's when he said that to me, that changed my whole mindset. So to me, instead of feeling sorry for myself that I couldn't do it, it more empowered me to figure out how to get it done. So that night, he wanted to watch a movie. So I grabbed my computer, I grabbed my phone, and I grabbed my ranking sheet. I sat down on the couch while he was watching the movie, and I started scanning Walmart. I scanned everything on Walmart. I mean, everything. And I started, if I could sell it, I put it in the cart. And then at the end of the movie, I had quite a cart full. So I went through my cart and I double checked everything to make sure that, and for me, it was more of a learning experience of finding what I could sell. Yeah. At that point, I quit worrying about what was restricted because, you know, that will come in time. So I didn't even think about restrictions. All I thought about was, what can I sell? What can I find that I can make a profit on? So that was how I first started to figure out where to go, what to do, and how to find products. So I did place an order, but so it was like I kind of figured out online arbitrage or before I even knew what it was. But there's way more involved in that than what I was doing. So, I mean, that's basically the first of it. Anyways, I'm getting off track. And then another thing that I started to do in the very beginning was on my seller app on my phone. When you hit add a product and it takes you to the next page, there's like movers and sellers, hot items on Amazon, whatever. I don't remember what they're exactly say. But what I would do there is I would look at the different categories and find what was the hottest seller, you know, and say it was an iron. So I'd write iron on my list. And I knew I probably wouldn't get the #1 selling iron, but I would check all the other irons because not everybody buys that iron. So, you know, I would check when I make a list of all the things I wanted to look at, take that to the store, and then I'd scan all the irons. I'd scan all the coffee pots. I'd scan all, you know, whatever was was up and coming and selling like crazy on Amazon. I'd scan all that stuff. And that's how I really started snowballing. I started getting everything going and getting products and getting things rolling.
Okay, I just want to mention anyone who has since rolled in, make sure you write in add me in the comments section below. If you've already done it in the past, you don't need to do it a second time, but that's so you can receive notification of a future broadcast. All right, so we're listening to Martha. She went through 2 weeks. We all know when we read that Facebook page every day, oh, I couldn't find anything. And so you forged through that because you had a husband supporting you. He said, you're not a quitter.
Yeah.
You, my dear, are not a quitter. And you're like, doggone it all, he's right. And you went back to it. And then the whole world started to open up. You said a really key phrase. Your mindset changed. And as people are standing and watching and going, really? You mean it's really about this stuff up in here that makes the difference? So let's talk about numbers. When did you come into the program? When did you start?
I started on Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay. So
September 15th was my first. It was my first live day. So when all my products went live.
So this is pretty cool because there you were. You literally were in a life change mode. You had that 5 months. Boom! Up comes my ad. Now, for some people, that ad is more incidental. They're cruising along in their life, and it's like, huh? What is this now? You were looking. Looking. All right. So here you are. You started in February. We're about 4 months out. And you are starting to hit, I think I would very safely use the term momentum.
Yep.
Because we had a little pre-show chat and you said what your numbers were for last month and you've already hit that for this month. So what I really want to impress upon people, number one, this works. Can we say that? It works?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Okay. And then two is that you can create momentum. Is the net effect of this, is this changing your life, your marriage, your family? I mean, is this what you had hoped for and it's now landed at your doorstep?
Exactly. This is exactly what I was looking for. It's something that you can do that will make you can make huge numbers, or you can just, like, if you just want a little side money, you can make just what you want to do. I mean, you can make this business whatever you want it to be. You can have it be a whole lifestyle, or just, whatever you have time for.
Right.
It works. It works.
Okay. So clearly this is more absorbed into your lifestyle because I met you in Minnesota. We're going to talk about that too, that we are a full-on support community. We have one-on-one mentorship coaching. We have live events. And so when you showed up in Minnesota for our April event, I'm like, Martha, and you said, and the coolest thing is, I am loving what I do. Yep. I love shopping, or is what you had told me. And so let's talk to that. And is the love of shopping, or is in part the love that this is a business that's working for you?
It's more that the business is working for me, and that I mean, it's a sense of pride when you kind of figure it out. I mean, when you kind of can get to the point where, you know what, how far can this go? For me, I felt like, if the initial training got me to this point,
yes,
what can the next training do? I mean, my goodness, I never dreamed. I remember I saw one of the interviews that you had with another lady, and she was doing $9,000 in sales. I'm like, how did she ever get that point? Now, how did she ever do that? But with persistence and scan. I mean, you just, with all the information, if you follow it from the beginning, you won't have trouble. And like I said, I didn't worry about being restricted after I changed my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't worry about it. I knew there was so many items out there that you could sell, that the ungating started happening, and I didn't even know it. Actually, one of my first coaching calls with Danita, she was looking over some stuff, and she goes, well, you're ungated in grocery. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know. I mean, how'd that happen? It's just, the ungating happens, I think, with sales.
Yes, exactly.
And in fact, here's another thing. Today, I was reading the Facebook and on Facebook, and they were talking about Hot Wheels. And one of the gals said that Hot Wheels was one of the first things she got ungated in. And I'm like, I'm not ungated in Hot Wheels. I'm going to try. So I went to Seller Central, typed it in. Next thing I know, I'm ungated in Hot Wheels. It's just like, you just never know what's going to happen. I mean, it's crazy.
So let's talk about your numbers of what you did in June. And we want to address too, we pre-chat or pre-show chat, we note, I noticed on my ad page and we noticed it in the group, it's almost like people are looking for a reason of, yep, I knew it, it's not going to work. All right, good, I get to check out and do nothing. Instead of, you got your husband, with that nice reprimand of, no, you're not a quitter. And you're like, oh, he's right. I'm not. I'm going to go in there and do it. So what'd you do for last month? And how are things shaping out for June here?
Well, since the beginning, my goal was to double each month, to try to get double. But I've surpassed that each month. So last month, I actually hit almost 13,000. This month, I'm almost there already, and it's the middle of the month. So I'm hoping, I've noticed my sales are less usually in the first 2 weeks and more in the last 2 weeks of the month. So I'm thinking that this is just going to be a crazy good month. And
we haven't even touched Q4.
I haven't even touched I've done my coaching with Danita, which was absolutely unbelievable, but I have not gotten into my accelerated program yet because I've been so busy. Toys R Us needs to close. I keep traveling.
That's so awesome. Well, you joined the hustle then, it sounds like the side hustle, which I think
before the summit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the hustle and I think there's a lot of members who don't even know, that being specifically our Shop Your Way to Wealth members and our book flippers, the 30-day side hustle challenge, where, my goodness, 4 coaching calls and you get, the free event ticket. And it's just, did that make a difference to have that resource?
Oh, it's, anytime you find that you can get information, that opens doors to your future, to your success. I actually considered when I first started thinking about moving on to the next step, the acceleration program, I thought, well, you can do it without training, and you're going to be going up a mountain, and you're going to fall, because it's undoubtedly, everybody fails on something. It might not be huge, but you're going to have falls. But I thought with the training, I could actually, make that mountain into more like a slope, so that I'm not, with the training, I can get myself to where I know better what to do. Yeah. So instead of falling from this, you fall from that, and your fall is not quite as hard as you would from without the training, because you're going to be more empowered by your education. And education to me is huge. I don't think without the training that I had in the beginning, I wouldn't be where I am now in 4 months. And with the next training, I spoke with Sharon quite a bit about where I want to go. And I think with this training, I'm going to get there a whole lot faster than I would if I did it without the training. So I'm really excited to get into the training. So I haven't yet, but I've had my coaching calls, but I'm going to make some time within the next month to get into that. So
awesome. Well, as a wrap here, I just want to recap. People got a really significant tip from you, and I'm going to showcase it for everyone's benefit, which was when you're out scanning, and then as it goes to the next page, you're looking for the hot sellers. You would write that term down, irons as that example, and you would make it your business to know, wow, Amazon with this huge traffic, irons are ranking hot right now. Fine, I'm going to go and scan a bunch of irons and see what I can find. Sounds like that was a game changer. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can safely say they can take that to the bank, as they say.
You can. It worked for me.
So you can take that tip to the bank. In closing, we know, Martha, by being on our private mastermind page, there's people who, it's a wonderful group. We've got about 1,000 people there. We're almost ready to hit 1,000. And people they hit their hurdles. And then we have people on my page who, it's like they chisel and they look for any reason for why it's not going to work. So I always, from my heart, I want success for people, oftentimes more than they want it for themselves. That's the heart of a teacher. What's the last closing thought you can give to people who maybe are struggling, who want that breakthrough, and the disbelieving people? I think human nature being what it is wants to hard code itself against any kind of danger. Oh, this is going to take effort that may not come to fruition. Therefore, I'll back out. They play safe mode, which in the ultimate big picture hurts them more. So let's talk to those kind of folks if you could, and we'll send them on their way to hopefully have a brighter future.
What I would say is, first off, just don't give up. Use the knowledge that you receive in the training to move forward in your business. I mean, excuse me, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
With anything you do, doors will open up with your knowledge. If you have knowledge, you can open those doors. And there might be something in the training, even advanced training, that you didn't even know about yet. And that might be your path to success. So open those doors, get your training, understand what you're doing, and move forward. Change your mindset. No poor pitiful me. Get out there, believe in yourself, and do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you at the Trifecta.
Yes.
It's coming up here.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing everybody there. Yeah.
Yes, everybody. So if you want to meet Martha in person, that's coming up July 13th, 14th, and 15th up in Bloomington, Minnesota. So thank you so much for your time. I know you want to get out scanning and shipping, so I better let you go.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty.
Happy scanning, everybody.
That's right. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.